Hello, folks. I am back, and I'm here to talk about the P320. And by now, you've heard the latest incident with the P320 with the police department. And a lot of you heard situations with not only police departments, it's also with the civilian market as well. A lot of it's going to be what they call negligent discharges, and others are going to be accidental discharges. I'm not going to judge that. You've heard all of that. I'm not going to even going to rehash that. Over the weekend, I had a great time shooting my P320 X5 Legion, and I haven't shot it Striker Fire in quite some time. So because I just been devoting myself to hammer fires, but let's get to the point about the P320. The title of this video is called "The Two Safest Ways to Carry a P320." Now, you're probably saying to yourself about the title, what? Now you got to hear that. Yeah, a little bit of clickbait, but let me explain. With the P320, it's a great firearm. I love shooting it, but you know the controversies. What I'm going to say is, if you remember in the movie Terminator 2, where Arnold Schwarzenegger goes to this biker bar, and this guy, in a last-ditch effort, wants to protect his property. He pulls out a 1911, and as he's pulling that out, he's racking the slide and then to chamber around, and then Arnold takes the firearm from him. That is called condition 3. Condition 3 is when you have a round that's not in the chamber, no round in the chamber, but a loaded magazine, and then you have to physically rack the slide. So that is what they call condition 3. The first time I heard of condition 3 was when I first started off with a 1911 in my 20s. And I carried in condition 3 for a while until I was comfortable with carrying cocked and lock on the 1911. So it's the same principle applied with the Striker Fire firearm. And I do know that the Israeli Defense Force, if you watch some of their training videos on with them, they have the Glocks and the Jerichos, and what they do is they train with no round in the chamber, which is condition 3, and they rack that slide and then able to shoot 3 rounds. That's one of their shooting drills. The closest thing that I guess Americans have come to it is called the tap, rack, bang situation, when you have a let's say a malfunction on the firearm and you have to do something to get that round cleared or whatever the problem is, and to get into firing mode. And now I can hear the people hitting on their keyboards saying, oh, condition 3 isn't quick enough, this, that, and the other. Well, you may be right. I want to hear your opinions in the comments below. I don't mind anybody's opinion on it. And there are some people, new shooters, who buy Striker Fire firearms, will tell you, even at the store I work at, they will tell you, oh, I only carry with a round out of the chamber, but they don't know that's called condition 3. So a lot of people who buy Striker Fire firearms, as a measure of safety for them, is to carry in condition 3. There's nothing wrong with that, but for us guys that are pretty much trained, or everybody knows how the state of the world is, you want to have that advantage. And a lot of you are going to say, hey, I want to have that round in the chamber so I can be ready and do what I have to do to defend myself. Well, you're right there too, because when I got on the police department, we were told we were not allowed to have our firearms in condition 3. It has to be ready at all times with the round in the chamber. So who's right, who's wrong, it doesn't matter. It's what you feel comfortable with. And for the people that own SIG P320s out there, I'm curious to know, would you consider carrying in condition 3 with knowing with all the controversy that's going on, that would you do that? I'm curious to know if you would feel comfortable carrying in condition 3 and then racking it. Would you be dedicated enough to train to do that type of training to learn how to shoot in condition 3 in a stressful situation? So that is, I originally, when I told you there's only 2 ways, the second way to make sure that you're carrying safe with the P320 is basically leave it home. And that's what I do. I leave mine home. I don't carry. I was carrying this, but I like to carry in the appendix mode. And because of all the issues, I stopped carrying my P320. And I'm sorry to say, it's when I'd rather be safe than sorry. And it's just one of those decisions you have to make for yourself, you know, whether you believe it's the negligence of the civilians or the police officers, whether it's the improper holsters, whether there's could be a whole many different line of factors. But for this guy here, I'm just going to hold it to range use. I love shooting my Scorpion here and at the range. I love shooting this as a target gun at the range. But think about it. You can also use these as a home defense firearm too. Leave it on your nightstand with no round in the chamber, condition 3. And then if you need to, you can rack that slide and use it. It all depends on you. So, and just before I end this, a lot of people will say to me, they say, so you're really a SIG fan, really? You're a really big SIG fanboy. You're going to defend this? It's not a defense or what of the SIG product at all, of the P320. It's not a defense. It's what I like to shoot. I think they shoot very well. You and I know they got those issues. But my SIG fanboyism is not of the 320. My SIG fanboyism is the P226. That's where my fanboyism comes from. This is the one firearm that I love from Sig Sauer. With that said, happy shooting, stay safe, #2A.